Hey there, people of the internet. I am Steve. I'm out here doing some fishing on a lake in Orlando, downtown. Give you a set the stage. Nice lake, bunch of houses surrounding it. Only like one place to launch. It's not even a launch site. So we got lily pads here, and then lily pads around the outsides, and open water all through the center. It's kind of windy, about 10-15 mile an hour. So if it sounds like crap, let me know in the comments. That'd be pretty funny. We're throwing shiners on the back just to make sure we're getting some covering a lot more water. It's about 6 o'clock, so we don't really have a whole lot of time. We're gonna throw some little shiners through the lip right there, and we're just gonna let them swim behind us and put like the drag down to basically zero. Another airplane. We're gonna probably have a bunch of airplanes flying around the whole time, so enjoy the sights. It's downtown, so not much you can do about that. That one's Spirit Airlines right there, people. You know, we should have been doing this the whole time. We should have been naming which airline we see fly over my head. Water temperature, say like 70. Water is very clear. Shiners out the back, and we're gonna pick out something to throw here for some bass. It's still set up on salt water right now. I don't know if you can see that very well, but water is extremely clear, and we have just massive growth right through here in some of these spots. I'm sure these are holding some bass. And we're on. Go. I think we're snagged hard. GoPro, start recording. We did get a bass. Look at that. First one of the day. He swallowed that shiner right there. We got a little one right here. I was like wondering what was going on back there. He came with a nice little hair net, so that's pretty sweet. Shiner's working, so let's just get a better hook for them so it's easier to get it out of their mouths. Doesn't hurt as many fish. You know what I mean? What do I want to use? Alright, we'll throw a weedless shiner hook, a weedless hook out there with them, just because it'll keep us off those weeds a little bit better, and it won't hurt as many fish. We're gonna get our weedless setup going. You know, I should have probably done this before I launched. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Too late. Hopefully we get a bigger bass than that. That was like a half-pound bass. So tiny. Let them go back there, get eaten by some of these bass behind me. It's always nice to have a bait rod running behind you, especially when you're on a kayak and you're just kind of not even set up yet. But these shiners pretty much always work out here. It's like no drag. That's perfect. No matter what the fish, it will pull drag. See, I like to know exactly when they bite by just having such a loose drag that you can just feel everything, you know? So I just pulled out my old handy dandy box of lures. I wanted to throw one of these. We used to call this a bass assassin. I haven't used it honestly in probably like 6 years, so I kind of want to see how it'll do up in the lily pads and stuff. I mean, it can mimic like a frog or a crawl. We used to catch everything in its mother with this lure, me and my buddy, when we went fishing up north before I moved down here. I'm from Maryland originally, so this should be kind of fun. And I totally tied the hook on the wrong side, so let's redo this again. Nice and weedless. We're gonna try casting with that a little bit, but let's check our shiner real quick. He's moved. He's alive, he's swimming, he's good. Alright, we're gonna throw the bass assassin right here, and let's see how we do with this. This should be kind of fun. It's weedless, so we're pretty good on the setup there. Should be able to just run it through all these weeds. As you can see, there's just algae all over the place. But that is perfect spots for these bass to sit. I mean, this one right here, you don't really, you can swim it fast or slow. If you swim it fast, it's like a frog. I mean, this thing imitates pretty much everything. We're in kind of a big grassy section right now. I don't know how well this thing's gonna work, but I haven't used it in a long time, so I felt like trying it. Honestly, as soon as I found it in my bag, I was like, I want to throw that. Let's try it in the center. Yeah, look at all these planes. There's just so many airplanes flying through. Over and, oh, I had a bite. I had a bite right there. Out in the open. Let's pick this up and toss this in the open too. Seems like a lot of stuff is out in the open right now. The first bite I had was in the open, and that just happened in the open. There we go, that one's out. With like zero drag, it's perfect. And we are going to toss this out here again and kind of just fish it real slow. You know, I'm a little impatient, so it's kind of hard for me to fish slow. I'm typically just a fast-paced fisherman. Oh, we just had a bite. We had a bite like right away that time. I think they're hitting the tail. It's a little bit long for some of these little ones, I'm assuming. I probably didn't pick the best day to come out here. You can see it's pretty windy. But I figured if I'm out here bass fishing, it ain't a big deal. It's not like, what am I gonna get pushed into the lily pads and paddle 20 feet? You know, not a big deal. We're gonna hit this open water for a little bit. I don't do a lot of bass fishing, all right? So I prefer salt water just because you catch a lot of bigger fish and it's a lot more unpredictable. Whereas bass fishing is just fun if you just don't feel like driving an hour to get to a spot. You feel like just kind of going out, throwing the kayak in the water and chasing after some bass. A healthy environment. I mean, you can see how clear this water is. Oh boy, that was rough right there. I'm in the open waters here, so it's not like ideal conditions to be in this open water, but what are you gonna do? Is this trash just floating around the lake? I think it's a trap or something. Let's see. Yeah, someone's got little traps out here. I'm not gonna mess with the traps, but I was like, checking to see if that was garbage. Because if it was garbage, I was gonna pick it up. And we have a dead shiner. Something hit him, something killed him. There we go. Feeds the fish. Nothing's on it. Minnow's alive. Shiner's swimming. Fling them back here. See, I don't like to just wait for the shiner to hit. I just like to have it there for when it does, because it just kind of doubles your fish. You know, like I might catch one, maybe two fish with this. You know what I mean? But if I have that back there, I might double that. Catch four fish. Catch 4 fish in 2 hours. You know, you're not too upset. You're like, ah, that's not a bad day. You catch 2 fish in 2 hours, you're like, all right, it was kind of slow, but I got something, you know. But it really kind of just doubles your intake on a day just by having a little live bait behind you. I mean, it's like 10, 12 bucks. They give me like 30 of them when I buy a dozen. So, ain't a bad deal. Paying 12 bucks to guarantee fish is typically always worth it. I wonder if there's people in their houses right now like, oh, look at that idiot out there in a kayak with the GoPro on his head. That's like the biggest fear of doing this, is just people making fun of you when you're doing it. I try not to be around anybody for two reasons. One, I like to fish places that aren't really fished that heavily. And two, I catch more fish when there's not a lot of people. The less people, the more fish. I gotta get around this way. I just can't deal with this right now. This is way too much. Being on open water when you're kayaking is so bad. I freaking hate it. I like to be in like the backwaters. Like right here, I'll have that tree to cover me, those trees. So let's do that. Story of how I almost died whitewater kayaking. I was going down like a rapid, okay? And I was like, oh, maybe I could just go, you know, stop here in the back current, you know, and just hang out, wait for my friends to get here. However, what happened is I flipped, okay? And the skirt, which goes around here, it wouldn't come off, and I was upside down. I'd never learned to flip myself back over, because, you know, who does that? Everybody. And basically what happened was I was underwater for like over a minute, and I could like touch the ground, and I was like, dude, I'm not dying like this. So I kicked and pulled as fast, as hard as I could, and I got out. And here I am on YouTube. Just had a hit right off that lily pad up front. Wasn't a big hit, but I think what's happened, this might be a little bit too long. I think I need to switch this up. I think they're just hitting the legs. They're not really getting the rest of him. We're gonna tie on something a little different. This is working, it's gotten a few hits. So we're just gonna change it up, make something maybe a little bit smaller profile. Yeah, let's try one of them. Okay, these are really easy. I like these hooks actually, quite a bit. I started using these in the redfish grass flats. Works really nice. Helps you stay off all the muck. So this is kind of similar. I mean, you got a lot of grass, a lot of lilies here. So this is kind of exactly what you need. They're nice and weedless. Let's try bouncing that around out there. That looks good. See if that'll get more hits. I'm not sure. We got one. We got one. There we go. Nothing crazy, but hey, there we go. Is that like third or fourth cast on the smaller bass assassin? There we go. Nice. Probably like a pound. There we go. Similar to the last one. Not big, but let's let him go. Woo! See you, buddy. Gone. Just running this through the pads seems to be pretty good. That was a pretty aggressive hit. I'm not gonna lie. That one really kind of just slammed it. See, we got one fish on the bait and one on the lure. So we've doubled our fish. That would have been our first fish if we didn't get the first one earlier on the shiner. So any of you people that are like, oh, you shouldn't bass fish with live bait, I don't care. I don't care. You go in the comments, make fun of me. I don't care. You know, that's my superpower. I just do not care what people think about me. And I'm funny. And that shiner is really moving pretty heavily. We got one. Oh, wow, dude. Holy crap. That is a huge bass. Oh boy, oh boy. Dude, this is why you use the GoPro. Oh my God. He's actually super skinny. What is going on in this pond? They need some food in here or something. My God, bro. You're too skinny to be this long. This is a long bass. Dude, you were so skinny. Someone needs to get in here and feed these guys. There we go. Look at that bass. What is up with him? Do you guys see this? You see this here? Something's wrong with this bass, man. This is like one of the most weird looking bass I've ever seen. You good to go, bud? You good to go? Swim off just fine. He should have been like a 5-pounder. He was like a 2-pounder, but the size of a 5-pounder. That was terrible. I don't know what's up with that fish. He didn't even eat the bait, too. That was a pretty bad cast. Now, if I'm fishing from shore, what I'll actually do is I will hook these through the belly. And that way they'll swim away from me the whole time. So I could just sit there and just wait for them to go, for the line to run. It's all about just waiting for the line to run with a shiner. So they're easy as hell to fish. I used to fish them with a bobber, but I learned that was a really bad idea because turtles will eat them like crazy because they can't get away when they're on a bobber. When they're swimming around the water, the turtles can't really get them, but the bass are much better at getting them. A topwater frog. Actually looks pretty sweet. This thing is awesome. This is not the right hook for this. Let's just do this another day. Get this one. Bad conditions for topwater. So this is actually the best way to hook them. Hook your shiners. You just go through the anal fin right here. And this way what'll happen, you watch him right here, he'll always swim away from me. So while I'm pulling that way, he's gonna be pulling that way, and then he ain't gonna be swimming in one direction. He's gonna try to pull away from me. He's gonna do a lot more active stuff. My God. This is one of the reasons I don't really like fishing in Orlando, but it makes it kind of interesting. Airplanes flying all over your head and stuff. It is nice to live near the airport though, I'm not gonna lie. I don't live that close, but I don't have to go too far to fly anywhere or pick up friends from the airport or any of that crap. Oh, he fell right off the hook. That happens a lot with shiners. So here's a cool question I want to know. So I don't really do a lot of bass fishing, so I want to know, what do people like to throw around the lily pads if it's a little windy? If you know something that I don't, I'd like to know it. It's been a lot of Spirit and Southwest today. You know, I should have thrown a chatterbait. I just don't think I even brought one. I didn't really bring a whole lot of stuff with me today, just a little bit. Sometimes it gets annoying to bring a bunch of stuff on a kayak. There's a turtle in front of me. Or is that just, yeah, that's a turtle. I just see him put his head down right here. I think I was just casting at the turtle. I thought I saw some movement of fish, but I think it was just a turtle. Let's paddle our way over to here where we got bites before and see if we can get bites again. Let's actually avoid the grass right here with the minnow on the back. Who got that time? I don't know. Maybe Southwest, I can't tell exactly. I'd like to get one more and then I think I'm good. We're at 4 bass so far, so that's like 4 points. Anything over like 3 pounds is an extra 2 points. Anything over, each pound is a point. So we're at like 4 points. So everything was about. Actually, I think we've got 5 points because that one was probably 2 pounds, but he should have been 5. So skinny and deformed. Southwest, you can tell by the colors. How many planes you guys think flew over me in these 2 hours? If you had to guess how many planes, I have lost count, but we'll count it in the video. That fish was probably deformed because of all the damn jet fuel landing on the lake, man. Polluting my lake. Yeah, it seems like we got one here. Either that was just grass. No, I think he just came off in the grass. He just came off in the grass. The minnow's gone, so I think that we had one there. I felt it fighting, but it came off in the grass. What we got here? Maybe United? I can't tell. Is that United? Maybe American. I see a flag, US flag on it. That's probably American Airlines. We're gonna find out. We're gonna figure out what all the planes look like today. And what do we got there? Delta. I can read it off the bottom there. It's a Delta plane. We got ourselves a lily pad, and it was just a lily pad. Weedless my butt. We'll probably turn this off now. We're about to let them go in a moment. What do we got here? We got one. We got another little guy. Oh, sweet, dude. All right. That looks pretty sweet, actually. These guys can fight, I'll tell you. They're pretty good fighters, but they're just not that big. Oh my God, something just came up at it. Oh my God, look at that one. Look at that one. That's the deformed one, I think. Did you see that? That was pretty cool. He was about to eat him. All right, chill, bro. 5th bass. So 2 for the lure and 1 for the shiner. Or no, 3 for the shiner. I swear if that deformed bass eats that again, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm out of here. That was a pretty aggressive hit. Oh, we got another one. All right, maybe we're on point right now. Maybe we'll stick around. The wind slowed down, and these tiny ones are out and about, dude. Oh my God. Ha, chill. Chill, bro, chill. Little fella. See ya. Thanks for coming. Well, we know this works really well. Gonna have to buy more of these, 'cause, dude. So I call these a bass assassin. I'm not sure what people call them. They're sweet. They work really well. I used to catch fish in creeks with this, pretty much everywhere. Well, we're at bite time right now, I think, so we're gonna ride it out for a few minutes more. I live like 10 minutes from here, so ain't a big deal. And I already made dinner. I got some chicken fajitas that I had for lunch, and I made a lot, so I could use it for like 3 days. Corn and beans, and tortillas and cheese, you know, the good stuff. And we got Southwest. You know, I'm probably gonna do this every once in a while, do a nice little lake day. It's a good idea too, because it actually helps your rods. Nothing there. And still just a minute. it helps your lines. So it's a good idea to do a, what's it called? Do a freshwater day every once in a while, just because it'll clean off all the salt water that you should have washed off already, which I totally forgot to do yesterday. But I'm going saltwater tomorrow, especially in good conditions. I went yesterday, terrible. I mean, apparently it's pretty bad fishing after it's 50 degrees at night. So got down to 50 and then everything, the bite just all went off. And Southwest, dude, Southwest and Spirit seem to be the most popular airlines right now. I mean, they got a ton of planes. Duck, you better back up, bro. We ain't friends. Look at their weird face. It's like they got like little red moles all over their heads, dude. It's kind of wild. And everyone calls them a duck, but that to me is not a duck. Are we 3-3 now? Yeah, we're 3-3. 3 live bait, 3 with 3-3. 3 live bait, 3 lure. And it's all the same lure, actually. This one right here. Well, bass faster. I don't know where you can pick them up, but they work. My buddy Zach gave them to me a long time ago, and I bought a pack or 2 or something like that, and I've used them a lot over the years. I actually haven't used them in a while though, so this is actually the first time I think I've used them since I've lived in Florida. And Southwest again. Hi, this is your pilot Steve speaking, out here fishing on the lake, and if you look down there you'll see a gentleman on a kayak. He's out there fishing, catching bass. He's not very good at it, but he is cool. Oh boy. I have no fishing buddies that live here, so I fish solo all the time. But I love it because I don't get bothered by anybody. Sometimes I'll drag a friend out to it and they'll like come like once or twice, but that's about it. They really won't do it that much. Like no one's like, let's go fishing every day like I am. Oh, we're on. Another one of those little ones. Look at those little guys. Oh, perfectly hooked too. There's the there's the thumbnail. That dude ate like a shiner. It was like a quarter of his size. Whoa, what the heck is going on? You see this? Dude, we're gonna watch that for sure. They're fighting. What are they doing? Are they fighting or doing something else? What the heck, dude? What the heck? No wonder everything's deformed around here, dude. That was pretty wild, bro. What the hell, man? Hopefully they don't swim into my line again. I had a cormorant swim into my line. It's on the page. You should watch it. It was pretty terrible recording, but it was pretty funny. I mean, if you're interested in something that's a little bit humorous, that was it. There's a gar right here. Let's see if he'll eat this. See him right there? Nah, he don't want it. I didn't know there were gar in here until now. Here comes another airplane. I swear there's a new airplane like every minute. Orlando airport is popping off, dude. That one, that's Southwest Airlines. You can tell by the plane colors. All right, we're starting to paddle upwind. This is getting kind of annoying. Here comes another plane. Every minute or two, we have an airplane out here in Orlando. It is coming in hot, as always. That looks like Southwest again. Yep, that's Southwest again. Look at this. I think it's an Osprey. Helicopter. So, you know, like the apocalypse could be like starting and I would just have no idea. I'd just be like floating around. See a turtle over there sticking his head up. I think we're like right off the runway or something. My gosh. Like this lake sits directly in front of the runway. maybe like 2 miles from the airport, I think. Not far. I wouldn't recommend this lake as like a great lake to fish. I mean, everything I've caught today has been small or deformed. We've probably got about 3 or 4 more casts. I think we might finish once that airplane flies over here. You know, I love how clear it is in this water. There's those ducks again. It's like we have a character in our video here. These 2 ducks and me and the airplanes. What do we got there? Frontier. That's the first frontier I can recall seeing today. I'm about ready to be done. You guys ready to call it? Yeah, we are, Steve. All right, thank you, people of the internet. Let's get on out of here. Just finished up, about to pull out of the water and be out of here. Thanks for watching.